Alex, our first show of 2019. Where has the time gone? Well, we hope you've enjoyed the shows that we've had in the past. Eddie Garcia is with us today. Thank you for starting the new year off, Eddie. And we got Bill Gross in the house. So yay! That's the big team. It's the A team. Gloria's off at Chamber School, learning a little bit more about what she's doing. But we got a great show for you. One thing I do want to tell you is, as we start 2019, we are also celebrating the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce 45th anniversary. 45 years in business, representing community and business, growing our economy, working hard for all of our citizens. And we were there in the beginning. In fact, we started before actually the town of Prescott Valley was incorporated. So it was a group of local businessmen that got together and said, you know, this is a community we're going to invest in. And here we are 45 years later. So we have a great year planned, a lot of great activities, some new things, tagging on some of the things that we already have done. So continue watching the show every month so that you can follow up what we're going on and being able to enjoy everything that Prescott Valley has to offer. And actually, as you know, this show is community-wide, so the whole Quad Cities, what we've got going on here too. But one of the special things we have now is my first guest. My first guest is now our new mayor, just actually sworn in on January the 10th. So as we say it, it's like new mayor, we're still, you know, drying him off, you know, so to speak, as he starts. So if I could join me in welcoming our new mayor of Prescott Valley, Cal Palguda. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
and
Year,
welcome. Great way to start off 2019.
Absolutely.
So, our first guest.
All right, great. I'm excited to be here. Marty asked me to just basically kick it off this year, and we're going to talk a little bit about me and about what my vision is on the community and what we have going on. So, as Marty mentioned, I'm Mayor of Prescott Valley, and I'm excited. So let's just start by who am I? So my name's Cal Palguda. I moved here in 1996 from a small town in Maine. My parents were actually factory workers. They made shoes. So I move out here in 1996. I get hired on as Prescott Valley's youngest police officer in 1998. During that time as a police officer, I went to Northern Arizona University. I got my bachelor's degree from there, and I continued on as a police officer, and I eventually was able to get my master's degree over at New Mexico State University. So during the course of my career, I worked patrol, I did DUIs, I worked in investigations, I worked undercover narcotics, which many people don't know, but the whole theme and every day I went to work was to help the community, whether it was trying to find little Johnny's bike or it was investigating major crimes. So I eventually was able to retire as a police officer, where now I teach over at the junior college, criminal justice classes, as you can imagine. And I also figured out that is how I can give back to the community. So people say, well, why'd you become mayor? Well, I ran for mayor because I still want to make a difference for Prescott Valley. I still want, just like as I was a police officer making a difference for little Johnny, I want to be able to make a difference on a bigger scheme of things. So knowing that, that's where I am here. So I'm going to bring a little different avenue to things as we go on, and I'm going to talk about that. So people say, hey, what do you want to do in the next 3, 4, 5 months as mayor? Well, first I want to start by involving the community. I'm sure many of you guys know that my campaign motto was every voice heard. So basically, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know where you're from, because as we know, not many people are born and raised here in Prescott Valley, so they come from different walks of life all throughout the country. So I want to hear what maybe worked over in Michigan or what worked in North Dakota and see what we could do perhaps here in Prescott Valley. So as I'm sure you know, Prescott Valley is fairly young. So just having our 40th anniversary, that says a lot. So there's a lot to learn and a lot more we can do. So I want to hear from those people in the community. So whether they're experts in concert promotion or events such as bike races or music festivals or even car shows, I want to get those people together, get them in the same room, and see what they can kind of come up with, and then work that towards what Prescott Valley can do to help them facilitate that. So there's no reason why we can't have once, twice, 3 times a month different events, mainly free, going on in our community. You might ask, what could that do? I mean, how does that help us? Well, if we can have events going on in our community, we get to bring people here to Prescott Valley. They get to get off the highway. They get to experience what we have in Prescott Valley. I tell people Prescott Valley is kind of a hidden treasure. It's a big secret that not many people know about. Granted, they're starting to figure it out, as you can tell by the construction and the growth, but that's okay. We're prepared for that. We want people to come on, enjoy Prescott Valley, and see what we can do from there. So what else do we have going on? You want to talk about different things that we can do to make Prescott Valley a little bit better. We talk about Northern Arizona University, Yavapai College, different schools that are in Prescott Valley's city limits. Well, my goal is hopefully we can explore micro universities where they're willing to, different universities such as U of A or University of Nevada or schools from California who want to just branch off and provide a specific type of education to our growing population. And many people don't know that Prescott Valley is the fastest growing community in Yavapai County. And not only are we the fastest growing community in Yavapai County, but we're also getting younger. And we're the only community in Yavapai County that is getting younger when the census says that all the other towns and cities are getting older. So that means we have a lot going on here with families, and that's important. And with families, in order to keep them here, we need to be able to provide them with jobs. And we need to be able to target manufacturing and technological jobs that can provide a good cost of living. That is the goal. And in order to make that happen, we need to make sure that Prescott Valley is at its best. And being at its best means having education and also being able to work towards our medical. You're going to have a guest coming on here from Yavapai Regional Medical Center, which is amazing. And we're hopefully able to work with that and be able to grow more to be able to provide more to our citizens. My time's going to be wrapping up soon, but I want to touch base a little bit on how I am going to communicate with the citizens. So what we're going to do is, in the past, I mean, I'm sure we're all aware of Facebook. I'm then going to be involved in Facebook Live communities, where basically you are going to be able to reach out to me through Facebook Live, whether I'm at my office or at an event, and ask questions. Aside from that, we're going to have Meet the Mayor pop-up events. So basically, Meet the Mayor is going to be, I'm going to set up a table and a banner and an easy up outside maybe Fry's or Walmart or just even over by Sonic. And you're going to get to be able to come by at your own time. If you see me, if you're buying a burger, if you're buying groceries, whatever it is, and be able to ask a question. Say, hey, what do we have going on here? Or what's happening here? Or, I would really like this to happen. I want to come to you as a citizen. I don't expect you, everyone has busy times and busy days in their lives, and I don't expect you to drop everything to try to come to an event that I'm at. I want to be able to go where you're at. So that's going to be important. What else do we have? I'm going to have the virtual office hours, where basically I'm going to have a set time where you're going to know that I'll be online, where you can reach out to me, whether through Facebook or another avenue, and ask questions. Some people don't feel comfortable maybe asking a question in person or coming to a council meeting. So I want to give you that chance to just say, hey, what about this? And I'm sure those of you that are on Facebook, if you do look up Mayor Kel Palguda and just like my page, doesn't mean you like me yet. It just means you're going to follow what I have going on. And you get to kind of see who I'm talking to, different events I have going on. And every day I probably have 5 or 6 people message me and ask me a question. And I promise you, I will respond to every question that's asked of mine. So please go to Kel Palguda, or Mayor Kel Palguda, and like my page. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram as well if you're on that. And if you don't know quite how to get there, again, you can message me. You'll also see on my Facebook page that my cell phone number is on there. And I am probably one of the very few mayors around that are going to have his cell phone number on his page. So feel free to reach out. Also, I'm going to be doing the standard reach outs where it's going to be columns in the utility newsletter that comes out where I'll pick a topic and I'll just discuss it more in depth. So people have questions every day, and sometimes on Facebook I can't answer very involved questions. So I invite them to either make an appointment with me or come down to an event that I'll be at. So that's important. So one of the things I also want to make sure that everyone knows is, yes, I am elected mayor of Prescott Valley. And yes, I have a seat over at the council chamber. But that seat, I just sit in it. The seat belongs to you. You are the citizens that elected me and trusted me to help lead and guide the town of Prescott Valley. So I want everyone to know that they absolutely, without a doubt, can reach out and talk to me and give me ideas, because I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know it all. But I rely on staff and other individuals with the expertise to help guide my decisions. And I also rely on the community. and I want to hear what you have to say. So that's important. So one of the things we won't have time to talk about, but are issues in Prescott Valley that we're going to kind of address, and I want people to know that we are thinking about how to do things and how to make it better. We talk about our police department. You guys, as I mentioned, I'm a retired police officer. And I don't know if you know or not, but Prescott Valley is one of the safest communities in northern Arizona. That is impressive if you think about that we are in a position where our crime is one of the lowest per capita in northern Arizona. And that's thanks to the Prescott Valley police officers and the work that they go out to every single day. So I think about them, believe it or not, every night when I'm going to bed and I'm drooling on my pillow, that there's actually men and women out there protecting us. So our goal, and my goal, is to ensure that we keep them at the forefront and the tip of the spear in regards to what they need to help us. Aside from the police department, we have other important departments at our town. And one of those is the library, and another one is Parks and Rec. Those are services that we provide the citizens of Prescott Valley. And you have to understand that the way I look at things is we are in the customer service business as a town. And what does that mean? That basically means that we need to provide the citizens or the customers with top, number one, important information and services that make them happy for what they have going on. They should be able to come to Prescott Valley, go to the library, use a park, and be satisfied and enjoy what we have to offer. Because otherwise, what good is town services if you're not happy with what we're able to provide you? So at the end of the day, we talk about growth and development and jobs and how we're going to get there. So all these different things that I've talked about in regards to the services, from the police department to Parks and Rec to the library, as well as providing concerts and events and different festivals, that all comes together in a big piece of the puzzle. We need to be at our number one best position for all those different things if we expect to be able to draw and attract different manufacturing jobs to our community. We have great business base and foundation right now, and we just need to keep going. I say it's keep our foot on the gas is basically what I say. We need to just keep going and keep pushing, because eventually we're going to be able to get businesses and more commercial and more manufacturing to our community. And one of those major things is going to be working with the city of Prescott with the Prescott Regional Airport. That Prescott Regional Airport, I believe strongly in my heart, is going to be what is going to be able to catapult us into a new arena. Well, basically, we're going to have access, or businesses are going to have access to our community that they've never had before. So based off of that, when a CEO from Southern California realizes that he can make it over to Prescott Valley in an hour and check on his plant, that's huge. And we need to promote that. And by promoting that, we can't expect businesses and manufacturing companies and tech companies to come find us. We need to put the spotlight on Prescott Valley, and we need to go to them and let them know all the great things that we have to offer here in Prescott Valley. So at the end of the day, we are all working as a team. And it's not just me, and it's not just one or two or three or four other people that are able to promote Prescott Valley. We need your help to do that. You need to be able to tell people, hey, Prescott Valley really is a great place. Prescott Valley has a lot to offer. Prescott Valley is probably the place of the future for northern Arizona. We have plenty of space. We have plenty of motivated and educated workers, and that's going to be huge. So at the end of the day, think about Prescott Valley and what you can do for Prescott Valley. So you will be seeing soon some emails come out, or a request for emails, where basically you're going to be able to reach out to an email and say, hey, I am interested in this, or I am interested in that. And we are going to gather it up and then make sure like-minded people are together in the same place. So that's important at the end of the day. And at the end, one of the other things I talk about is businesses, and I talk about business/technology incubators. And you think, well, what is that? Well, that's going to be an area that the town can work with other businesses. Then they're basically startups where they're provided with services that they can then start to develop more and more of their business. And that's huge, because someone has to start somewhere, right? We just can't expect a business to come in here rolling 100%. So we need to give them that opportunity. So if we can work with other businesses as well as other towns and other cities, because at the end of the day, it should not be Prescott versus Prescott Valley versus Cottonwood, because if Prescott Valley gets a good business, or if Prescott gets a manufacturing business, guess what? We all win. And that's the key here. Because at the end of the day, if Prescott gets a good manufacturing business that didn't quite work or wouldn't fit here in Prescott Valley, guess what? Prescott Valley residents are still going to get to go work there. They're still going to benefit from it. So there's no sense us fighting or us just kind of competing on two different roads, when if we join forces and together, we are just going to be a great team. And I'm confident because I've talked to the leaders over in Prescott, and we are all on the same page. So please feel confident in the direction that we're going to go. So finishing up, hopefully you guys have gotten a little bit more about what I've had to say, where I kind of come from, and knowing a little bit more about me. Because it's important. Once you know where I'm from or what I'm about, you can kind of predict my decisions and how I want to go in the direction I want to take the town, or at least be able to give my voice and give my opinion. So again, I'm going to recap with every voice heard was my campaign motto. So please do not hesitate. Don't think you're bothering me. Don't think you're bothering any staff. That it's time at the end of the day that you can send a question, a comment. I love comments. Like some of them some kind of hurt sometimes, I'm not going to lie, but it's okay because I want to hear what people have to say, and that's important. And you may not like what I have to say at the end of the day, but at least you're going to hear the direction that we're coming from. So please, without a doubt, reach out, Facebook, Twitter, email, in person, whatever it takes, please give me a call and see what we can kind of come up with. So, and that, folks, is basically all I'm going to have here. And I'm going to bring Marnie back up here, and she's going to talk and go from there.
I think that's a great start. I'm thinking I'm going to have to turn over my, community cheerleader crown over to our new mayor, but I look forward to working with you because, we've always believed in this community and your leadership. I can see it moving in really positive direction, so let's go.
And I appreciate the time here, and I appreciate everyone wanting to be involved because there's so many people that want to reach out, and we just got to give them that opportunity to talk to us. And that's it.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
You've met the mayor. Welcome.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Alrighty, we'll
Bye.
see you soon. Whew. Putting on the gas. He's just gone into overdrive, so we're going to have a great time this year. All right. February is Heart Month as we're looking at the end of January coming into February. It's Heart Month. And so my guest now is Andrea Klein with YRMC. She's got this wonderful title. I'm just going to let her tell you all about it, but it's all about rehabilitation. But when we talk about rehabilitation, you can come on here and join me. Rehabilitation, but sometimes you can talk preventative medicine. And for many people, maybe that's the opportunity now to, as we start 2019, to look at your choices and opportunities, and yet if you are experiencing those things, YRMC is there for us. So an asset in our community and a total gem. Andrea, welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Marnie. My name is Andrea Klein, and I am a registered nurse, a certified diabetes educator, and I'm actually a certified cardiac rehab professional. I have been at Yavapai Regional Medical Center for 35 years, so my entire professional career has been spent with our organization. And I'm here to talk about, I was asked to come to talk about some of our prevention and wellness services in relation to National Heart Month. So February of 2019 is a National Heart Month, and the hospital has many programs that focus on cardiovascular health.
I jump in.
Most folks are well aware of our clinical programs. We have an open heart surgery program, and today I was at a meeting and we just got the statistics that last year they did 201 open heart surgery cases. So that was our highest ever since the program started about, I believe it was 10 years ago. So that was one milestone that we reached. There's many things going on as far as clinical interventions. The hospital is building a new cardiac catheterization lab, remodeling ICUs, and there's a lot going on there. But my area of focus is preventive medicine and wellness. So what does that mean? My departments focus on keeping people well, either preventing disease, or if someone already has heart disease or diabetes, preventing the progression of that. So one of the things that we are known for is cardiac rehabilitation. That is a program that someone has to qualify for, and in order to qualify, it means you had some type of heart event. But once a person has a heart event, for instance, a heart attack, open heart surgery, whether they've had a coronary bypass or a new valve, a valve replacement. Maybe they had to go to the cardiac cath lab and have a stent. And so what our unofficial motto is, other people fix you, but we make your life worth living again, because the nurses and exercise physiologists that work with those patients that have had heart events really teach the patient what they can do and how they can get better and recover, and then how they can live the rest of their life in a heart healthy way. So our focus is exercise and education, and so many people have been through our program. In fact, last year we had over 9,000 cardiac rehab visits, and we interacted with over 350 patients that went through our program. Our program, patients come from a variety of time. We like patients to stay about 12 weeks. Sometimes their work environment doesn't allow that, or they may have insurance stipulations that say they have to end shorter. But most patients are with us about 3 months, and we steadily progress them. We interview them and ask what their goals are, what they would like to accomplish, and then we design a program for them. And again, that focuses on education. We talk about a heart healthy diet. If they have diabetes, we focus on diabetes. If they have never exercised in a gym, we focus on teaching them safe, effective use of equipment. We have treadmills, we have bicycles, and we have a variety of other what I call toys to get people moving. One of the best parts of our program is the socialization. You're in a room with many people that have had similar experiences, and that camaraderie and that support is really critical to people getting well. So that's cardiac rehab, and then what happens after someone's done with cardiac rehab? And that's where maybe the prevention and wellness, we focus more on that. The hospital has what's called the Pendleton Center, and we have the Pendleton Center on both campuses. We have a West Campus Pendleton Center, and we actually have one in Del Webb. And the Pendleton Center is where folks come, maybe they've had a heart event, maybe not. Maybe they just want a safe place to exercise and work with professionals that have a medical background. And that's really what makes us different from the other gyms in town, or maybe your community center gym, is that we have exercise physiologists, registered nurses, and what I call fitness coordinators, which are personal trainers that have that medical background. So if you have had heart disease, or if you have heart failure, maybe you've just finished PT after hip replacement or something like that, we know what that means, and we can help design an exercise program for you there. Our Pendleton Centers, one of the nice things about it, we have various membership plans for folks. So we have self-pay plans, and we also accept Silver Sneakers, Silver Fit, something that's now called Renew Active. It used to be called Optum, and we are also contracted to accept the new AARP Medicare Supplement program by United Healthcare. So folks, there was a lot of confusion in the community because United Healthcare AARP Medicare Supplement sent out letters that said there's no more Silver Sneakers. And while it's true for those that insurance plan that they're not contracted with Silver Sneakers, they have an alternative, and we can accept that membership. So people just have to come in, and we'll verify and explain how all that works. So if you got a change in your insurance this year, or feel like maybe you lost some ground, just see us, because we have a membership plan that would meet your needs and give you access to a gym. Some of the other things that we do in our department is we have various support groups. And since we're focusing on Heart Month, we have a free reversing heart disease support group. That meets on West Campus, and I'm just looking at my notes, the second Monday of every month. And it's facilitated by our dietitian, Rita Carey Rubin, who some of you may know from her TV show and her cooking show, and also Danielle Schott, who is a certified personal trainer and life coach. And the topics that we talk about every month are related to reversing or preventing heart disease. And so what does that look like? It typically is an exercise topic, and so maybe a gym isn't right for you, or maybe you're going to be traveling for a month and you want to know what you can do when you're at your kid's house or something like that. We talk about that. We talk about the various components of exercise, because it's more than just walking on a treadmill. Rita focuses a lot on the food issues, and when we talk about Heart Month and prevention, diet is, meal planning is very important. We don't like that four-letter word of diet. So meal planning and healthy choices, and I know Rita's been on many of Marnie's shows before, and Marnie asked her for a tip. What if there's one thing that we can tell someone, and she always says eat more veggies. In fact, she has a license plate that says something like that. So that's really important. And then we bring in extra guests occasionally. We talk about stress management, and those 3 strategies are key to reversing heart disease. So that's called secondary prevention. So primary prevention is to prevent the development of heart disease, and if you have secondary prevention programs focus on, well, I have it, let's stop the progression, and actually sometimes even reverse the progression. That support group and many other things at the hospital, the information that we provide, the mayor spoke about being electronic. We are now too, and you can subscribe to what's called the Health Connect. You can go on www.healthconnect.org for YRMC, and you can sign up to find out about events, find out about our support groups, and you can customize that to your interests too. So even though I'm focusing on prevention and Heart Month, there's a lot of things that are going on. And then the last little bit, again, is our preventive medicine and wellness department. We talk about, we also deal with diabetes a lot, and the number 1 complication of uncontrolled diabetes is heart disease. So all of our programs would focus on that too. So in conclusion, come see us at the Preventive Medicine and Wellness Department. We have many services. We can ask you questions on what your goals are, and then steer you to a program that's right for you. So
Great.
Thank you for
Andrea.
having me.
Your website, one more time.
Well, it's yrmc.org, and if you look for the Health Connect on that website, then you'll be able to subscribe to all of those that information.
Great. Highly recommend. I do it all the time. And again, especially if you have any heart disease that runs in your family, we look at that, preventive. There's always that possibility. They say that, family history has a direct correlation with heart disease. So if you have any in your family, start now.
Okay.
In 2019, January is a good time to start.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you so much for
Thanks for
joining us.
having
We
me.
appreciate you. Just want to remind you, on Tuesday, January 29th, the Prescott Valley's Chamber of Commerce first quarterly breakfast, and it's called Startups. Fresh Starts and Startups in 2019. Our Mayor Kelp Good will be joining us, along with Ben Hooper, Town of Prescott Valley Economic Development, Mike Paredes with Prescott Valley Economic Development Foundation, Sanford Cohen with Arizona's Hometown Radio Group, and myself will be speaking. We invite you to join us for breakfast catered by Gabby's Grill at the event spot, with the program sponsored by Arizona's Hometown Radio Group. So that is Tuesday, January the 29th. Call the Chamber at 772-8857 for more information, and come on out and join us as we kick off this 45th brand new year. Eddie Garcia, thank you all for joining us here on Hot Topics. We'll be back in February. Remember, February is Heart Month, so take good care of yourself. Take care now.